to put aside your belief system, at least for the of time during which you read, so that you can see what the writer is trying to say. As you're reading that story or that poem, religious knowledge is helpful, although religious belief is too tightly held, it can also be a problem. We want to be able to identify features in stories and see how they are being used. In other words, we want to be analytical. Say we're reading a book, a novel, short stories, say. And let's say this short novel has a man in it, a man no longer young, in fact old, as well as very poor and engaged in a humble profession. Not carpentry, say, but fishing. Jesus had some dealings with fishermen too, and is often connected symbolically with fish, so that's a point of similarity. And the old fisherman hasn't had much good luck for a long time, so no one believes in him. In general, there's a lot of doubt and non belief in our story. But one young boy believes in him. Sadly, though, the boy isn't allowed to accompany the fisherman anymore, because everyone, the boy's parents included, think the old man is bad luck. There's a second point of similarity. He's good with children, or at least one child. And he has one disciple. And this old man is very good and pure, so that's another point, because the world he lives in is rather sullied and unworthy, fallen even. During his solitary fishing trip, the old man hooks into a big fish that takes him far out beyond his known limits to where the sea becomes a wilderness. He's all alone, and he's put through great physical suffering, during which he even begins to doubt himself. His hands are ripped up by the struggle. He thinks he's broken something to his side, but he bucks himself up with aphorisms like, "A man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed, but not defeated." Inspiring things like that. Somehow he can endure this whole episode, which lasts 3 days, and which finally makes it seem to those on the land that he's dead. His great fish is ruined by sharks, and he manages to drag this huge ruined skeleton back to the port. His return is like a resurrection. He has to walk up a hill from the water to the shack, and he carries his mast, which looks like a man carrying a cross from a certain point of view. Then he lies on his bed, exhausted by his struggles, his arms thrown out in the position of crucifixion, showing his damaged raw hands. And the next morning, when people see the great fish, even the doubters begin to believe in him again. He brings a kind of hope, a kind of redemption to this fallen world. And yes, didn't Hemingway write a book like that? Yes, The Old Man and the Sea, 1952, a nearly perfect literary parable, so clear with symbols so available that the Christian imagery is accessible to even beginning readers. But let's give old Hemingway some credit here. The narrative is more subtle than I've just made it sound, and the struggle is so vivid and concrete that one can get a lot out of it. Triumph over adversity, the value of hope and faith, the attainment of grace without placing undue weight on the old man, Santiago, as a Christ figure. So must all Christ figures be as unambiguous as this? No, they don't have to have it to hit all the marks. Don't have to be male, don't have to be Christian, don't have to be good